Hey everyone, Eugene here, joined by my smelly friend Kristo. The weather's
kind of nice way.
yeah, to you. The weather's really starting to come down on us. It's just starting to get gray and dreary. We just shot a couple of videos, one for Kristo's channel. But today we've got something special for you, and it's the 2017 edition of Panda from Zoologist Perfumes, which has been reformulated and from its original release in 2014, came out with beaver and rhinoceros to start off the zoologist line. So,
and yeah, like a lot of people, take the word reformulation as a bad thing. It's definitely not here. It's pretty much been completely redone by a new perfumer as well.
Yeah, it's a totally different smell by a master perfumer. That is Christian Carbonell, who's from Spain and worked on niche houses, Amouage, Zerjoff, Arabian Oud. And the first thing I noticed when I sprayed this on, I didn't even know it was a new perfumer, or I knew it was reformulated, but was the quality of this perfume.
Yeah.
How smooth everything was. It was compact, really well structured, really well put together, and instantly I was so curious to who the perfumer was, and it was the first thing I Googled. I didn't purposely want to look up the notes, or I didn't want to read any of the, the blurb on Fragrantica.
To make you guess.
I just kind of wanted to guess what was going on here, but what really stood out to me was the quality. A lot of times, indie niche smell like indie amateur perfumers with substandard materials.
And yeah, they often are relying more on, being strange or outrageous rather than having high quality. You're standing out so much that you want it for the uniqueness rather than the quality.
Yeah, this really stood out. And it's not quite department store smoothness, but it's a lot smoother than the original Zoologist threesome.
Yeah.
Rhinoceros.
They've all been kind of tweaked and changed. All of them?
No, I think a rhinoceros is still original.
Is it?
There was one other that's been tweaked.
Okay.
Dragonfly just came out. Elephant is due to be released anytime now.
Yeah.
So the interesting story on Victor Wong, the creative director of Zoologist, and Christian Carbonell getting together to collaborate on this perfume was they kind of met at the Olfactory Awards when Bat won first place, and he was actually competing against Christian Carbonell perfume. And Christian came to him before the show and said, Bat is going to win. Bat is going to beat my perfume. And then he offered to create a perfume for Victor, which is, this has never been released yet, but we're going to announce it now. Camel, due out Christmas 2017. Victor loved it so much, Camel, which we both smelt. We've smelt for, probably the past 6 or 8 months ago, which is an ambery, sandy, gritty perfume. So he loved it so much, he asked Christian to reformulate Panda for him.
Oh, okay, so he did Camel first. And
he did Camel first.
I didn't realize that.
Victor really enjoyed it, as did we.
Yeah.
And then Panda 2017 came from that.
Okay. I thought it was the reverse, but I guess that's just, release dates or whatever. But, okay, cool, yeah. Now, I have to say I'm not quite as familiar with this as you. I have tried it several times. I had vials. I think I had, like, a travel atomizer of it. And I liked it and everything. And then you're like, you want to review it? I'm like, yeah, sure. I might need to get a little bit more familiar with it today. And, trying it on again. It's like, wow, yeah, the opening is really nice, man. It's so well done. It's so smooth.
It is extremely smooth. And, kind of the first thing you notice is it's not as extreme as, let's say Bat or Rhinoceros. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more wearable. I had my bottle at work, and a coworker's like, he kind of saw it, and he's like, he gained a little bit of interest, and he asked if he could spray some. And he absolutely loved it. And I'm like, really? You like that? Because it's not really meant for the masses. It's
Right.
not meant for department stores. It's more of an acquired taste for enthusiasts.
I never really found Bat to be too unapproachable. I actually found it to be quite nice. Maybe that little mossy thing that might put people off.
It's very earthy, and it's not very. It's not a very common smell.
No, yeah, for sure. But I think maybe rhinoceros, definitely more. So that's an interesting scent for sure. Do you want to start again? Or?
So, even though it's easier to wear, it doesn't really take away from the complexity of this perfume.
Mm-hmm.
I think the opening is great. I love the opening. I get a lot of sour, tart, zesty citron, and green apple.
You get a lot of apple.
That apple's very prominent. And then right after that, I'm hit with, I want to call it the Zoologist Muscanade, which it's the musk that I've picked up in a few of their other perfumes. Maybe Beaver and a few others.
Yeah, I can see
but
that in
it's this
Beaver.
common musk theme going on.
So before we kind of look at the notes again, because zoologists generally do have quite a few notes, like Victor does usually list, pretty much exactly what the notes are that he wants you to pick up or what he puts in.
Right. Don't let that coiffed hair and those glasses fool you, because he is like a mad scientist underneath those freckles, right?
Yeah, the puppy dog exterior, don't be fooled.
Right. All the cats that he's posting on Facebook, they're just a front.
They're evil inside.
So I forgot what you were going to say. But you were talking about the notes.
Let me give you some notes, because I'm not as familiar with this. So I said apple, like, right away, and you're like, yeah, there's a lot of apple. So I've had this on for what, maybe 2 hours? So I've noticed it kind of went from being really green, grassy,
fruity,
sour, fruity,
floral.
It kind of smelled, maybe not as much now, what I would smell like someone playing a trick and making a candy apple from a green apple. Candy apples are usually red apples being sweeter, meatier.
Right. Some contrast.
So yeah, someone like candy's a green apple, you bite into it, you get that kind of sweet, fruity candiness, but then you break into like a green apple and you're like, whoa, that kind of threw me.
Yeah, I get a nice sweetness from this, and I almost want to say it's coming from the iris. It's like a
oh, okay,
sugary water iris, and it's really deep in the background. It's not overly sweet, but it adds a really nice touch to this.
I can't say I've gotten any iris yet, but I don't know.
There is the first thing I noticed when my coworker sprayed this on and I smelt it on someone else, I would say florals, fruit, and musk. And once that musk starts to develop, I get this gorgeous leathery,
definitely
vibe.
Florals, fruit, musk, but I don't really say I get as much iris.
And I don't want to say it's overly animalic, but it does get quite animalic on me. Almost like I've never smelt panda, but this puts me like right next to a panda cub.
I've probably smelled like
almost like in a like a little wrestling match with a panda.
Well, yeah, part of the blurb inside here is that it is actually meant to smell like not just a panda, but a panda in its natural
habitat.
Surroundings. Yeah, so it's meant to be the panda, its food, its home,
some
the trees,
bamboo,
the earth, and everything around it.
Pepper.
Give
florals,
us some notes.
Fruits. Okay, so we have top notes: apple, magnolia, mandarin, lily, osmanthus. That's where the leather is coming from. Osmanthus usually gets leather on meat. Ozone and tea.
Okay. Yep, I can see a lot of those.
In the heart, you got amber, earthy notes, jasmine, orris, and patchouli. Orris is where the iris is coming for me.
See, I get more jasmine, I think, than iris myself, or orris.
The base, me. Civet, musk, sandalwood, and vanilla. I get vanilla and tonka in the base. It's got a nice resinous sweetness to it.
How long do you take to get to the base?
About 6 hours.
Oh, okay, I'm nowhere
it's
near
very
that
complex.
Today.
Okay. Civet, musk. Yeah, I can say I get, that animalic.
Yeah. There's definitely earthiness, maybe
borderline dirty,
anime, yeah,
woody
yeah,
quality to this.
for sure.
And like I was saying, it's almost like, to me, after, you know, the top has changed of the fruits and the florals, it's like bear hugging or wrestling this panda cub. Not really a full-size panda bear where it's animalic and dirty and stinky. This is more of the cub.
A playful little cub.
Exactly,
that you're
a
having
play
to wrestle
fight.
with.
You know, it's a play fight, and you're picking up the fur and
rolling them around and
yeah, exactly.
Sure.
That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's a very unique scent. I wish I had an older sample of Panda to compare it to, but as I recall, they are quite different. Now, I don't know how many notes were meant to be the same, or how original Victor wanted to keep it, or if he just kind of wanted it tightened up a bit. I'm not really sure what approach
well,
he wanted.
Tightened up he got, because this
yes,
is
he did.
Definitely extremely well blended.
Pricing, what's pricing on this?
$135 US on every site that I've seen. I've seen it on Lucky Scent. Actually, I've seen Zoologist on Lucky Scent. I can't remember if it was specifically Panda.
I think they're across the board, though, right?
Right. But there is the Zoologist website where you can purchase these
and
directly.
You can in Canada get them from Niche Essence, but, you know, that's, you know, a whole different realm for most viewers, I guess.
Right.
Standard 60 mil, right?
60 mil. This is the first time I'm seeing this, actually, extrait de parfum.
No,
actually,
as in first time you noticed, or first time it's actually come out?
I'm noticing Panda is extrait de parfum.
Okay.
I can't remember what civet was, extrait or eau de parfum. But this one is extrait, and I just kind of want to show you the artwork here. The, you know, classy packaging, black, gold. The juice color, it's got this zesty green color to it.
And another thing I have to say as well, like, Zoologist is an indie perfume through and through, but you definitely get also packaging that does not look indie.
Absolutely not. It's
like most indie, even though these may be like standard, like I'm not sure if Victor has these made, like the bottles made specifically for his brand, or if he has them just bought, you know, from a distributor or whatever. But if he does, he's definitely made them his own, which I like. A lot of my beef with indie houses is you're paying a lot of money for a standard bottle that you can just buy online en masse, right?
Right, yeah. Just look like 30 ml decants.
You know, like
that you bought from a Chinese Amazon or...
I don't mind when like Smellbent do it, because you're not paying for it. You're paying like $50 for 50 mil. It comes in a really standard bottle with the label slapped on. You know what? Fair enough, because they're not putting that into their price.
They're not charging you for bottle.
But the thing that I find surprising is that there are indie houses that do have cut and paste, mass-produced packaging, and they charge, you know, high-end niche prices for it. And I say, you know what? I'm not paying that. I'm absolutely not paying that.
No.
Because you're just gouging for mass-produced, you know, packaging that you can get, like from a kiosk in a mall from.
For an indie house,
the box as well.
I can't say I can think of a better box
or packaging,
that comes.
And like this is attention to detail as well. I love this. I think that looks really good. Obviously meant to be a book.
And it's changed since a couple of releases ago. It used to be a pull-out sleeve.
Okay, I've never owned a bottle, actually.
This is kind of new. It's an open flap. You got some magnets over here that you know, it must have a metal plate in there that it attaches to.
For sure.
He's even got his own barcode, which, you know, costs him money. I just noticed that before. I don't think the older boxes have barcodes. This actually must cost money to get your own specific, unique barcode.
Yeah. No, I definitely think, like, Victor has made a really good, you know, attempt at becoming a large, accessible, likable, you know, fragrance house.
Made in Canada. I love it.
He bottles everything at home.
Amazing.
And as well, I think we should point out, like, even though Victor is a good friend of ours and we hang out with him regularly.
We've met very often.
And he asks us for input on his releases and stuff.
Yeah.
We are definitely not, if you're familiar with our channels at all, we are not the type that will just, you know, say something, you know, to get someone attention.
For the sake of it.
Talk about his stuff because we like it, not just because we like Victor. I think it is, you know, a really good indie perfume house start to finish. There's a few that I think I like a lot. There's a few that I don't like as much. But overall, I think, you know, it's really great.
I know what you're saying. For me, my favorites are Macaque and Civet. But, you know, if you've been following my channel, it's usually the same things you're going to see. Guerlain, unboxings, a little bit of Chanel, and Zoologist. It's
Mall.
just, yeah, some mall here and there, but it's usually the same things over and over. Big supporter of this house.
So would you say you like Macaque the most?
I know what answer. But, you know, he's going to get a lot of flack for that one.
Yeah. But I think Victor's already been there with the puns and jokes, but...
Right.
Anyway,
But, you know, if anyone can take it, it's Victor, because he's usually making fun of himself.
He's a great sport.
Right.
He's a great guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so anyways, I think that's it. We're already at 16 minutes.
We like to talk a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I highly recommend checking this out. Now, one thing I should say, if you're to put this on the kind of gender spectrum, masculine to feminine, I would say this is unisex leaning feminine. I think there's some things I've tried from Zoologist I find a little bit more feminine, but there's definitely things I find to be considerably more masculine. And always check things out. Never just dismiss something because it's masculine and you're feminine. Never dismiss something because it's feminine and you're masculine. You know, never do that. Always try first. But I would say definitely it does lean a little bit feminine on the
Yeah, with that
scale.
fruity floral thing. But it can go both ways because it's got that grand leathery musk note.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't see someone like my dad wearing this.
Absolutely not.
You know, like, it's not going to be generally...
Or my wife, or my brother, or my sister, or my cousin, or my best friend, or... This is not that
It's not like a mass-produced, it's not like a Sauvage, or, you know, a Creed or something that everyone's going to swoon over. It does take a bit more interest in perfume to approach. But, you know, when I'm putting it on the, you know, gender spectrum, I'd say it's definitely leaning femme, even with, like, the earthier or more animalic base notes, mid notes, whatever.
Right. Okay.
Anything else to throw in?
Now we'll leave it at that.
So yeah, definitely Fragrance, a house worth checking out. I always like to support the indie cause as well. You know,
sure. Probably a
especially-
leader in indie right now, Zoologist Perfume,
And,
making
you know,
a huge name for themselves.
indie
Just growing and growing and growing with all these new releases.
And yeah, it's indie, it's Canadian, it's from, you know, where we live, and the owner is a friend, so awesome cause to support.
Just getting better and better, I believe.
For sure, I definitely look forward to stuff in the future. So,
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.